Yo,
What up?
What up, bro? Whew.
Dude,
Another week, man.
What are we on?
I think it's 88.
Yeah?
88. That's what my notes say. 88.
No, yeah, you're right.
That's a note taker this week. I put it in there. I usually do put it as the title of the note document. I just put like the number like 88, 87.
It's funny, man. Like, it gets all the different generations, right? Like, you got your phone out with your notes. I got a fucking notebook and a pen.
I do have, actually don't even count. I said I do got a notebook, but it's digital, so never mind.
It's digital, yeah. It just don't count.
And I use that shit a lot.
You know what's funny, man, is that I like to, when I write notes, like, it actually helps me to remember it better.
Yeah. That's why I did the digital writing thing.
Yeah.
Because the typing, I find that if I write at least like pen to paper, so to speak, I feel like I retain it easier. So I think that's why I went that route. And I just write so much now between this and or like bits or like work or whatever. Like I just started, like, I was like, all right, but I'm tired of going through notebooks.
Dude, you got to make sure you save all that shit, bro. I'm serious, man. Like, dude, how dope would it be to fucking look back at somebody who was like 2-3 generations ago, and not even like your dad. You know what I mean? Like, how dope would it be to read something from him, or like even to have this, right? And have like the recorded voice or video.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I don't have a lot from my father as far as like I have memories. But
I don't show off.
I'm sorry, man. You was mad at Anne Frank because she live in a better attic. That's a line from a hip hop song.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of who it is too. I can't remember, man.
It's the dude that raps with Eminem.
Royce the Five.
Yes. Right? That's who it is, right? I think
it is.
I think it's him.
Oh my god, bro.
For all y'all hip hop heads out there,
funny, man.
Correct us because we're probably wrong.
I'm actually M's hitting up that Super Bowl halftime show, which I'm kind of curious to see how he does.
Yeah, so it's him. It's
Dre, Snoop, Mary J, Kendrick.
Yep.
It's like the whole West Coast connection plus M for whatever reason. Because I guess he has that Dre connection, obviously. But yeah,
I was surprised, man, because the Super Bowl is in California, that you wouldn't include like Ice Cube.
Yeah, especially if Dre's involved and all that, right? Like, you wouldn't bring. I wonder if you bring them out as a surprise. Do you do an NWA song? Do you happen to bring them out if you do like one NWA song? You know how everybody always ends up bringing out like a guest artist, but is that going to be overdoing it? Or because imagine bringing them out and having M do like "Fuck the Police" on the Super Bowl stage.
Oh, that'd be dope.
How wild would that? Have M do like Eazy-E's part or some crazy.
And then
shit.
then the cops show up to arrest them afterwards.
You got Kaepernick comes out in the middle of this.
He was in New York recently at like a Knicks game. Yeah.
I saw some shit like him. There was a bunch of people though, like courtside of the next game, right? Like,
but I think that when they showed him, there was a video of him coming out of the garden and people there going like, you can't even throw a football.
Yo, people are ruthless, bro.
Yo, they don't give a fuck, dude.
Yo, people are super ruthless, bro.
All right, man. I don't know. Do we even do the intro?
Do we do it anymore?
No, man. I don't know, man. Listen, for those of y'all who are with us on a weekly basis, welcome back. For those of you who are not, he's Juan and I'm Sean. And every week we get together, have a few drinks, and talk about things going on in the world. Try to focus on things making an impact, whether they be good, bad, or otherwise. And we always hit y'all up with the drink of the week. Hit them with it.
Hell yeah, man. And we don't have a name for this just yet. It did take inspiration from Cocktails of Gotham book I have.
Then we fixed it.
And then we fixed it because we didn't like the way the original recipe came out. So we're going to break it down for you here. This has, we muddled in 3 lime wedges. So cut up a lime, 3 wedges in there. Muddle that with some sugar, granulated sugar, preferably if you have it. And then throw in mint and muddle that in as well. Throw in some ice, and then throw in an ounce of white rum. We did Caña de Flor. Honestly, I think you could just do any white rum. It could be Bacardi, Kentucky, whatever your jam is. And then the other ingredient, it's actually overproof rum.
The kicker
is overproof rum, which I've been trying to find something to use overproof rum for in a long time.
Because it's like gasoline, y'all.
Oh my God, bro. This is Ray and oh damn, I left the bottle. It's Ray and whatever rum. I gotta think of the name of it, but it's a Jamaican rum. Ray and Nephew. It's a white rum. It's overproof rum. So Ray and Nephew, that's the one we use. I don't know of any other overproof rum, so we're just gonna say that it is a Jamaican rum.
It does not taste good by itself.
They should just stick to oxtails and jerk chicken because that shit is horrible by itself, bro. The rum is atrocious, bro, by itself.
Unless you like drinking unleaded gasoline.
Yeah, so listen, just go to Scotty's in Jamaica, have the food. Do not have a drink that they make there locally. But so shout out Jamaicans, y'all make some bomb ass food, but the rum wasn't your jam. But actually, it's pretty. So we did that, and then we topped it off with club soda. And no, actually, it's supposed to be club soda. I'm sorry, it's supposed to be club soda, but we actually replaced the club soda with tonic, and it's pretty good. And then a splash of Sprite. And it adds even better. So either do the tonic and the Sprite or just do the tonic. It is way better with tonic. So rum and tonic almost with overproof rum, regular white rum, tonic, muddled lime, mint, some sugar. And there you go, man. Stir it up in the glass.
It's good.
It's good. It's
what
good
is
now.
it? We're on like number 3 or 4?
Yeah. But I don't do the first few count, though. Those were like...
those are tests.
Yeah, those are test things.
But we do finish them.
So, I mean, we do, but if you don't... It's like... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. It's like cooking. You know when you taste like the bits and pieces when you cooking to make sure it's right? Does that count towards being full?
Bro, the other week, I was on like a conference call, and it was like a team conference call meeting, and they asked me about the podcast, and I go, I don't remember what we talked about, and I go, but man, we had this really good drink, and I think it was one of the ones that we did with the peppers and tequila.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And so I'm explaining how I came up with it. But as I'm explaining it, it's like, oh, I was, the games were on this weekend. And so I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, oh, I have this tequila with the infused pepper. So I'm going to try it with this. And so I tried it with that. That didn't really work out too well. So I put something else in it. So, dude, I'm going on this fucking story and I'm about 5 drinks in. And I'm going like, that's when I got the right one. And I look at him going, and I caught myself. And I was like, wow, man. I said, people on this call are probably going like, this motherfucker's an alcoholic. It's like, of course it tastes good by the 5th one.
Sometimes you need that slight liquor. I feel like inspiration to really get you there, right? Like when it's like coming up with a dish when you're high, like off weed. Like you just start mixing random stuff, then you just like come up with cool shit like soup and Cheetos in it or something like that. But it definitely gets better as it goes along. I don't know. So I'm not counting the first 1 or 2.
No, man. And we have had drinks where the first time it hits.
Yeah. We have had drink, but we're like, oh yeah, that's it. And then I think the last couple we're like, all right, we got to start. This is how you know we've had too much stuff. Like now we just start like, nah, that's missing something. And we be in this bitch like Gordon Ramsay. We like, you call that a cocktail?
Oh, I go, Juan, no, you finish that one.
Yeah. You be like, nah, that's an embarrassment to rum. You can have the one with club soda. And he's like, that's basically water. Feel like I'm on Bar Rescue.
Well, they have some good drinks on there too, man. Where they'll expose the recipe.
I wonder if maybe they already have it. I haven't looked. If like a book of like, yo, the best cocktails from like Bar Rescue things. That would be kind of dope, man. If you haven't done that, yo, Taffer, you can have the idea, man. Just pay me royalties.
Yeah. Or buy us new mics.
Just get us something, hook us up, bro. Buy an ad or something. Keep it rolling.
Yo, man, my card for another week is going out to 2 Chainz.
What? Titty boy? Titty boy?
That's right. I forgot I used to call him that.
What?
2 Chainz, because he has become the head of creative marketing for Krystals.
Really?
So Krystals, for those of y'all up north, Krystals is like a White Castle.
Yeah.
They serve basically like mini burgers. They're phenomenal.
That shit slaps. Yeah,
Oh my God, bro.
It's like horrible, but it's good. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like Taco Bell. It's like horrible,
right.
but it's good. You know
And it's the shit you get really like late night.
Yep. Yeah, like they should probably give you a breathalyzer as you're ordering it.
Be like, listen, if you want to get home alive, you're gonna need about 12 more.
Get the 25 pack. Yo, nowhere else could you get like a 30 pack of burgers. This shit is crazy, bro.
That's the one where you go in and it's like, 24? I don't know if that's enough.
I don't think that's enough. And the worst part is that shit's done in like 45 seconds. How you get 37 burgers in 45 seconds and they give you that shit in a briefcase? Yeah. That shit is wild, bro. It's so good. I think I'm going to get some for Super Bowl Sunday.
That's a good idea. I'm coming over.
Let's go.
So this dude, man, and the reason why I gave him Carbon Footprint was because, I mean, he's a successful rapper.
Yeah, of course.
But and don't quote me on this, man, but I don't believe he owns a degree in marketing. But
I'm not sure. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that he doesn't. I did try to look up some stuff, man. I couldn't find anything on that.
He played college basketball though, right? I thought he went to college on a
question.
basketball scholarship or something like that. I could be wrong.
I don't know.
Okay.
But either way,
Yeah.
I was just like, yo, if like this dude, you know, sort of like from the hood, right? Like grew up poor, whatever, made something of himself, you know, with rapping, and then now, essentially, he bought a Krystals in Atlanta. That was like a failing Krystals.
Okay.
And he brought him kind of like out of failure.
Oh wow.
And so, then Krystal teams up with him, man, to do this marketing thing. And I go like, fuck, man, like they must have seen this dude and goes, you know, he knows how to market stuff. Now has done some crazy stuff for his albums. I think he had done one time where, and I forget what the album it was, something with Pink. He took one of his homes and like did it all in pink and put like trap over that shit. Remember that?
I think it was called the Trap House or Trap
something like that.
Trap Hall of Fame, some shit like that. Yeah.
And so he's done stuff like that, and then he's done other stuff for like charities in Atlanta. And so yeah, these guys like made him their like corporate head of creative marketing, bro.
Wow, man. I mean, so you got a corporate executive job.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, shout out to Krystal though for being like open-minded enough to know like, yo, this guy moves culture and has influence. Yeah, and to do that because we definitely not talking about Krystal on here if it doesn't involve 2 Chainz, right? So
and the other thing I thought was interesting was that he doesn't eat beef or pork.
He doesn't?
No. And so he's very conscious of what he eats, and it's not on there. And so he mentioned like, yo, like I know the burgers, you know, I know the burgers slap, but I'm looking at, you know, adding other things to that menu for folks like myself.
I mean, mini chicken sandwich. Actually, I think they do have mini chicken sandwiches now that I think about it.
I haven't been to Krystal in so long.
Bro, I did it like 2 months ago. No, I did it. I don't remember exactly what it was. It was around Halloween for some reason.
Yep.
So in October, I just happened to be driving by, and I went, "Oh shit, I had that. No, those are still around." And to your point, it was like midnight. Pulled in, got me a cool 24, and shit slap, bro. This is just like I remember.
Yeah, no, those things are good, man. And so I say, for those of y'all up north, it's I want to say they source their meat from the same place.
I mean,
it is the exact right. Sorry. Whatever's in the middle of the bread,
bro. Whatever it is, it's like thinner than a slice of ham. However, they managed to get that beef, quote unquote. It's shit. I don't even know how to explain it, dude. It's like a shaved sponge. Piece of meat, bro.
And then they make the bread. The bread is so like sort of like a light bread.
Yeah.
So it feels like you got something there.
Yeah, but it's mostly bread and even the pickle's tiny. And then you get like a squirt of mustard.
But the shit's good.
The shit's good. That shit is good, bro. And the cheese be like a dollop, but just and then
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, but no, but for him, and I was just like, yo, if you think that you can't do shit, man, you know, like you don't need a degree to be an executive in a company. Clearly, I don't know, man. I saw that and I was just like amazed.
Dude, yeah,
like, man,
you said you don't need a degree
guy,
and just get out there and pump ideas
and do shit,
and
right.
yeah, and then like you said, he invested in something and he basically proof is in the pudding, right? He showed what he could do with it, and almost probably left them no choice but to give him an opportunity. But I think for them to be open minded enough too, like to go like, man, like this guy's onto something.
Right.
Because I think 2 Chainz probably went from a drug dealer to a pretty successful rapper into, you said, entrepreneur. Businessman. It's, you know, I think about like Rick Ross in that same sense of like, think what you want about Rick Ross, but the guy owns a bunch of like fast food joints. You know, the wing joint, the Wingstop is the big one.
Wingstop.
Yeah, I think he Checkers and Rallies and shit like that.
Oh,
he owns too.
Yes,
but I think the Wingstop is his big one, which Wingstop's awesome. I love Wingstop, but he's also been big about just buying like stores. But I think it just shows people like, yo, man, like you don't have to. And Rick Ross obviously likes to show off his money, but yo, man, you don't have to just go buy cars and big ass houses that you're not gonna be able to afford in a couple years anyway. It's like, yo, I bought that, but then here's how I sustain that. I'm gonna go invest in this stuff. And then also, man, it invests in your community, right? You're buying establishments where you live that create jobs and create opportunity and hopefully Ross is giving like an opportunity to people like him and stuff like that. And hopefully like with 2 Chainz, you're gonna go, you know, 2 Chainz is not gonna do the whole like whitewashing stuff or like. He's probably going to do some pretty cool initiatives that are going to give opportunities to like the minority community in some sense. So like that's dope, man. Shout out 2 Chainz.
Yeah, I saw an interview recently. Shit, I lost my train of thought. Who's the guy you just talked about?
Rick Ross.
Rick Ross. And the guy asked him about the wing house, and he was like, "Yo, talk to the people about sort of investing in you know like a fast food joint like that." And he goes. You know what? Like my one of my first ones was you know like under 300K investment, and he goes, but not for nothing. Like the first 2 years, like you're just trying to break even, and then he goes, but it took me those 2 years to get the community involved, to get the community knowing that we're gonna be pumping out a good product. And then they begin to support you because they know you're not just here for the short term.
Yo, but how many of these dudes would have spent $300K on a Bentley that they would have gotten rid of anyway, or would have gotten repossessed, or may not repossessed, but like yeah, they would have had to liquidate at some point in time to get the cash out. Like throw $300K out of business, like you said, maybe you break even for 2 years, but then it's probably generating $300K for you a year.
Yeah, he said in the third year, you know, sort of after all the marketing and kind of getting his, you know, getting the support from the community, he said it's $1 million.
Yeah, so like, I mean, that's fire, bro. And I just looked up, the album is called Pretty Girls Like Trap Music, because I was thinking that's the one with the pink house.
Yep.
My thought with that, when you were talking about him too, is like he's one of the rare exceptions where I feel like usually every artist, their first album is the one that slaps the hardest, but that album I would say was probably his best one, you could argue, for 2 Chainz, and it's probably like his 10th or whatever it is, like down the line of 2 Chainz. So it's like to still stay on top of his game like that from a musical, like an artistry, I guess, perspective, and then still be able to invest in.
Yeah, and he's not a young dude, man.
No, 2 Chainz got to be in his 40s, right? Yeah, he's got to be in his 40s. He's been around for a while, man. 'Cause like I said, I'm trying to think of the name of the group he was in, where he was called Titty Boy.
Why can't I think of that?
Yeah,
so you know, people on the other end of this are going like,
"Yeah, it's mine." They yelling at the mic right now and stuff. Yo, just drop in the comments on IG or YouTube.
I found myself doing it the other day, listening to something, and I was like, you know, they were sort of stammering on something, and I was like, "Oh, it's this," and thinking like, we probably get the same shit.
Yeah, yo, if I'm him, bro, you know how fun it's got to be, bro, to employ people, and then they gotta, you know, you be like, "No, you gotta refer to me as Mr. Titty Boy." I just be signing checks. Mr. Titty Boy.
I'm looking it up here, man. We going
I want to say his grandmother gave him that nickname too, so it makes it more funny. Or I don't even think that's grammatically correct, but it makes it funnier. For sure. Which one are you looking up? The what? Oh, the name of the group he was in?
I'm on the Wikipedia, man.
Oh, the name. Yeah, the rap group, man. As soon as we hear it, we're going to be like, ah, yeah. And like you said, there's somebody on the other side of this screaming right now. Our southern our southern brethren here are probably yelling at us right now. Anybody from the south, nobody from the north has any clue what we're talking about.
Nope.
They're probably like, who's 2 Chainz? Anybody from the northeast is like, what? Who listens to that? You listen to a whole album of 2 Chainz? They don't know anything that's not DMX or Jay-Z in the northeast.
Yeah, no. This is and I'm trying to skim through this and I can't fucking see. I'm trying to like look at words really quick to see if I like
2 Chainz group. Dude, I have it like at the tip of my tongue.
Fuck it, man.
But anyway,
what's the carbon footprint? I'll keep looking.
Yo, my carbon footprint this week, bro, is listen. I gave this person. I've been very critical of this person. I don't feel like I've been giving him enough credit for some of the things he's been doing.
Okay.
Because I've been very disappointed on how they've handled their position as of late, or to date, I should say. But yo, my carbon footprint goes out to Sleepy Joe Biden, bro. Sleepy Joe.
The fact that you call him Sleepy Joe Biden. I already know what kind of carbon footprint this is gonna be.
Absentee Joe. Matter of fact, I might just start calling him Dad. This motherfucker is nowhere to be found, bro. Joe been ghost since he took office, bro. I be forgetting he's president. Literally, him and Kamala. I'll be like, wait, y'all still around, bro? Like, I literally forget, bro, that it's like the active presidency. Like, I think it's almost like, oh, they used to be kind of thing. Right. But anyway. Yo, Joe, man, is I'm gonna pull up the article, man.
What do you do?
Yo, Joe started this program. It's coming to light sort of more now, but he didn't start. One of the programs he funded during the whole COVID thing is like this American Rescue Act thing that he poured like $30 million into. I'm gonna get the name of it right. All right, so it's called Joe Biden's American Rescue Plan. It was 1.9 trillion actually, and $30 million of that was earmarked for a specific program. That essentially was to make it safe for people who had a drug addiction to acquire for harm reduction. That's what they call it, right? So this harm reduction it was a 3-year program, and what it would do is it would allow you to get safe smoking kits and supplies as an approved use of federal funds. So you could get money from the government to buy like crack pipes, like like needles.
Okay, hold on.
Like heroin needles.
This is a lot like that story I told a few weeks ago.
And this is one of the reasons I brought it up too, because it kind of added to that, right? And like, so the premise behind it is like a lot of the health risks are involved with, like, obviously shared needles, and if you're smoking out of a glass pipe, they crack, they break. Smoking crack tends to lead to mouth sores and blah blah blah. And so a lot of these people are sharing, so they're getting infected with like hepatitis and HIV and yada yada. And so the idea behind it is to sort of reduce the number of infections from that standpoint by just making this shit free, so that they can just go and pick up their own kits. So everybody has their own kits to do heroin and crack.
Fuck, man.
Yo, man.
Is this all over the country? Is
it's like federal funds. You can use federal funds. So anybody, and I think I'm pretty sure there's specific places you have to go to, but the grant says it aligns with the advancing racial equity and support for underserved communities through the federal government. And obviously the Republican Party pushed back on it because they felt like it was a misuse of funds, but Biden is sending free meth and crack pipes to minority communities in the name of racial equity, was Marco Rubio's the senator here from Florida,
who's a Republican, by the way.
He's a Republican senator here in Florida, but one of the other things is it allows for safe sex kits, including PrEP resources and condoms, which PrEP, if you don't know, PrEP is like it's like almost HIV and AIDS sort of, I don't want to say immunity, but if you know someone, if your partner has HIV or AIDS, if you go through this PrEP program, you can essentially prepare yourself to have sex with them without getting yourself infected. So it basically makes you immune to the virus. Which people
what do they do? Like coat your genitals with some shit, man? Hot sauce?
Ceramic coating on your...
Come on, Drake.
They buff that bitch like a car. You put wax on it so the age just slips off. But I think it's they basically give your body like antibodies almost, like I don't know the exact like kind of scientific term for it, but it's essentially it basically makes it so your body's immune to it, like it just fights it off. But and so that's a big thing now. Obviously, like the fact that you can even avoid HIV and AIDS at this point is like, it's crazy. Like you think about, dude, when I was a kid, I remember hearing like the Magic Johnson story and being like devastated, and now it's just kind of like,
you got AIDS, you're
cool.
good.
Take these pills, and then your wife, your husband, your whatever, your partner has it, cool. Like, take this and you won't get it when you have sex with them. Feel free to raw dog. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I don't know. It's crazy, bro, the world we live in. But yo, man, like, I thought Joe wasn't doing shit. And he out here giving out crack pipes and heroin needles and condoms and prep needles. So you know what, Joe? I take all that shit back. You are leaving an imprint on this community.
Well, listen. That Joe didn't get as much freaking publicity as the other Joe. I'm talking about Joe Rogan. I think this is the second week we're talking about
That's
him,
the
right?
real man that run America right now.
So last week we talked about how he was being, sort of cancel culture was hitting him up for the misinformation, which essentially was him interviewing a couple of doctors.
Yeah.
And, sort of getting information about COVID from these doctors. Well, this week, there was somebody, I can't remember her name. What the hell was her name? Some girl came on and she's like Indy Ari.
Oh, the singer. Indy Ari. Yeah. She's Canadian, so I don't know why we're paying attention to her.
But so she pulled her music off of Spotify, but in the same respect, actually was just like, yo, like Joe Rogan can say whatever the hell he wants, but I can choose not to have my music on the platform that supports him.
Yeah.
So equally right, like say whatever you want, but I choose not to be on there. But she was posting some like a compilation of him saying the N-word.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then when I saw it, like it looks bad, right? Because the compilations, if anybody ever seen compilations of anything, it's just quick clips.
It's just him saying that word. It'd be like a compilation of every time we say bitch, and then all you play is me going bitch,
and you fucking count it,
and then you count, and then so that's basically what they did for the N word. Yeah. Or I mean, I say wild shit on here, but it basically did it to him with the N word, but it was all out of context. It was never him using the N word as like a racist comment. Right. It was him using, and again, it's not to, I'm not justifying whatever. I mean, you think whatever you want about him, his use of the N word. I guess what I want to point out in that is that like he's using the N word in like the context of he's either quoting rap songs, he's either telling a story, and this guy was like, but like he's never calling someone that. Right. And then he even used it with the hard R a couple times in there. But again, it was like in the context of quoting something. Whether or not that's right or wrong, I'm not here to debate that. But yeah,
that was his thing. So he came out on Instagram and basically said, I watched the compilation video. It's definitely out of context, but knowing now what I know, like there's never a time when I should be able to use that. So I'm sorry, like I never meant to offend anybody. Using it in different contexts than what you guys will see in the compilation. But having said all that,
doesn't excuse it.
I'm wrong. I was wrong, and like I shouldn't be using it.
And there was also the story about the Planet of the Apes thing.
Oh that sounded like
that sounds horrible. That does sound extra fucked up. But again, man, I would say like I don't know Joe Rogan personally, but I could see that. I could see, dude, if you take the shit. Joe Rogan's done that podcast for over a decade. He's got thousands of episodes.
Dude, it's like I want to say some of that shit was like over 11 years old.
Yeah, bro. Dude. If you take ours, we're on episode 88.
Oh, dude.
And you decided today to make a compilation.
Right now.
Yeah, bro. I say horrible shit in the name of trying to get a laugh. It doesn't always work, but like I say, dude. Based on this podcast, you could call me racist, misogynistic, sexist, whatever. Like you could go down the line. Like. I make horrible statements on here that I just do it for the sake of doing it. Like, and also, it's just a lot of time to be talking on a mic. Like, you're gonna say reckless shit. Like,
and also, man, like, obviously, I do keep in mind that we have, somewhat of an audience, right? But in the same respect, I also go, it's just me and you.
Yeah,
like I'm just talking.
We try to talk how we would talk to each other,
and I don't try like we do. I think we do. Yeah. Sure, like listen, there are things that I go like, oh, I won't touch on that subject because maybe it's touchy or maybe it's gonna get me in trouble or even with I don't know, like your wife or my wife might look at me different or say something crazy. I think about those things, but for the most part, man, like we just talk. Normal, and we say shit that we would say to each other that we know is not gonna offend the other one, and even if it does, it's gonna offend me. I'm gonna laugh. If it offends me, I'm gonna laugh.
Yeah. Same thing. Like, there's very few things you could say to offend me, and even if it did, it's, you know, if it's funny, I'm gonna laugh. Like, either way, like listen, and it's not to say that Joe Rogan using that word is funny or whatever. Like, again, it's not that. I think he used a great quote to sort of describe what he was going through, which was he's going through like was it like a political hit? Like they basically have political hitmen after him, because it isn't even so much about those. Like you said, those clips have been around for over a decade.
Yeah,
of him doing that. Even the compilation has been circling the internet forever. She just happened to go out of her way to go find it and then post it, right? But essentially what's happening is the mainstream media, and I feel weird even calling them that, but like the Foxes and the CNNs of the world and all that are basically now going, this guy has too much power, too much influence, too much of an audience. He gets, like you can't like Joe Rogan, we talked about this last week. He is the Howard Stern. He's the Larry King. He's the, like, all that stuff wrapped into one now. Like, everyone wants to go on his show. And like it or not, he sort of sways culture now, or moves culture, and does have influence. I don't think they like that. And so now they're like, all right, how do we get rid of this guy?
Right.
I don't think you're going to be able to do it.
No, I don't think so either.
I think you can keep dropping it, because I think it was smart of him was to not hide. Like, almost immediately, he goes like, fuck, that video was horrible. Like, he goes on his whole thing. He's just like, he goes on like a 10-minute thing on his own Instagram. Like, yo, I just saw that video. Shit was horrible. You know, pretty much what you said. Like, yo, it doesn't excuse it. Shit was a long time ago. It's out of context. But yeah, it sounds bad. Yada, yada. Like, you can't be... and this isn't an original thought. Someone on his podcast, or no, maybe it was Flagrant 2 or Brilliant Idiots, but I think it was Schultz. He was saying, like, the weird thing is that, like, if Rogan comes out, or anybody really, and just goes, yo, man, I was ignorant to that, and then asks the question, like, yo, is it offensive to say that? People almost frown or look down on you and go, how the fuck would you ask that? Da, 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 da. He goes, but if the problem is ignorance, then why is asking the question not okay?
Right.
Like, you're going to slap me down for asking the question when I'm going like, yo, I'm trying to get educated here.
Right.
But no one gives, like, we don't give that a chance.
No.
We just immediately go into attack mode.
No, it's so true. The solution to ignorance is education, not cancellation.
Yep. Exactly.
So the other thing, man. So I think to combat this, Spotify did go through his episodes, and they removed about 100 episodes, which is probably about 4 days for Joe Rogan.
Yeah, for real. I wonder, is he allowed to just go put those up somewhere else?
I don't know, but I did see that Rumble. Do you see this shit?
Yeah, they offered him.
They offered him $100 million, which Rumble is like, I guess, a far right platform.
I think so. Yeah.
As far as I understand. And they were like, oh, Spotify don't want you like we do.
We'll take you.
But Spotify is not stupid.
No, they're not dumb, bro.
Yeah, they're
like, here's the thing. If everybody's like, you're giving him a platform. Bro, Spotify didn't give Joe Rogan an audience.
Right.
Joe Rogan had an audience and brought those listeners to Spotify. Like, they need him more than he needs them. Like, they're not stupid, like you said. They're like, yeah, cool. Just like every one of Howard's employers were like, yeah, Howard's wild. Go pick up your check on Friday.
And the Spotify knows, so, for last week's thing with the the quote unquote misinformation, they put some disclaimers on the episodes. And then with this piece, they just go, we're going to scan through. And if it's on there, we're removing those episodes.
Yeah, but then who's the barometer for misinformation? Like, one of his points was like the mask thing, where before it was like, don't wear a mask,
bullshit,
right?
Dude.
And then it's like, wear a mask. And then, a year from now, we're going to go, don't wear a mask. Do you put those episodes back on?
Yeah, true.
Like, if you find out that, hey, actually it wasn't misinformation.
Well, the quote-unquote misinformation, there weren't episodes removed for that. They were just disclaimers.
Yeah, and then again, why aren't we allowed to have sort of, hey, here's the information, you make your own assumption. As long as he isn't on there going, this is facts, right? Or, hey, this is another theory based on these facts, like that sort of counters this other theory. It's dialogue. Like, you're shutting down dialogue.
I agree with what you're saying. However, you get people who let's just say they're religious listeners to his show, and they trust him, and then so he's not necessarily saying it, but he's bringing this so-called expert on who is saying it, and they're having this sort of good dialogue around it, and it's not, maybe Joe doesn't have any information to refute any of that information, right? So you go like, okay, so now it's fact. And so I think Spotify is just going like, it's an opinion show.
It is, yeah.
Like, it's not like, do not take this shit.
We're
as,
so
as
stupid,
the,
bro.
We're fucking retards.
You know, like you need warning labels on food to go like, yo, soda has a lot of sugar.
Dude, how about the fucking hot coffee shit from McDonald's back in several years ago?
You got to put a sign on it to go like, oh, my coffee was hot. Like, but like we're gonna need that shit now for content you consume. Like, yeah. The stuff on here is like satirical or it's opinions. It's not, you know, like we're so dumb.
Bro, we don't have nothing to fight about, bro.
No, we don't, bro. Life is so good, bro.
That's why they about to start a war over there in the freaking Eastern Europe, bro.
No, we not, bro. No, but you seen China and I love this shit, bro.
They
I
getting
saw
together.
China and Russia getting together.
Yeah.
Yo, it just goes to show. You know how big China is, bro?
Yep.
And even they like, nah, we need a sidekick for this shit. Yo, America is a fucking bully, bro. Like, you know, two of the biggest like military powers in the world are like getting together.
Yeah.
And they still don't want to smoke, bro. I was talking mad shit to somebody about this, bro. Like the shit about a war now, bro. It's like it wouldn't even last long. Like I know most wars, bro. Like we do this whole man, they were talking about this on. You ever listen to Hardcore History, Dan Carlin's podcast?
I couldn't get into it.
Oh, like I love that podcast, but they were talking about this recently about like how most wars are it's interesting. So like most of the investment in military is in like high tech, all this stuff, but most wars are won sort of on the battlefield, right? Like you talk to somebody who served in Iraq and you go like, yo, what killed most of your buddies? They're gonna like pull up a rifle, right? Like whatever it is,
that
like
or fucking IEDs
or an IED, yeah,
right.
shit like that, right? It's like, yo, it wasn't the fucking laser that we're spending $1 billion on or whatever, like, and so they sort of got into that whole thing, but anyway. Like it was just funny because I'm going like, yo, if you really got into a war right now, like a push of a button ends the whole fucking thing for any side, I would assume. But we're the ones who just go around telling the world like, you're not allowed to have nuclear bombs, and they're like, but you got them. Yeah, and they're better than yours, so you're not allowed to do as I say, not as I do.
I want to say, isn't like the countries that are allowed to have them, like if everyone launched theirs, it would almost like kill the earth like 3 times.
It would
over.
it would just obliterate the earth, bro.
Yeah, it's like,
you couldn't
insane.
have a world war right now. Like you would almost have to put boots on the ground and go, guys, just go fight it off in that corner over there, like together. Like,
no guns.
Yeah, drones only for this round. You just do some wild shit, but like yeah, bro. Like I saw that whole thing, and I'm like, China is gonna beat us. I think from our dependence on them, from a capitalistic perspective, not
from
on the
TikTok.
battlefield. Yeah, they're gonna get us some TikTok and get some information, money, all that shit. They're just gonna drain resources. China's been buying like land and like things that we use all over the world. Meanwhile we're like over here going like, let's get a bigger gun and let's go get a bigger tank and let's go get like, they're like, yeah, we're not fucking with y'all there. Like, cool, you guys got that because you probably spend an obscene amount of money on that, but like we're gonna go ahead and it's almost like they're playing the long game. Like we're just gonna make you so dependent on us from for resources and stuff. Like you see, you do COVID prove like, yo, we couldn't get a mask here forever because we couldn't make them.
We don't make them.
Yeah. So, like, I feel like shit like that, inevitably, China's going to be like, yeah, like, who makes the bullets for y'all, man? Yeah, that gun's cute, but you can't load it. I don't know, man. That whole shit is just crazy.
Dude, did you see the Whoopi Goldberg shit?
She's another one, man. I guess take them to the comment that she made.
Go for it.
Okay, so she, on The View, obviously, Whoopi Goldberg's on The View. I'm going to paraphrase here, but she essentially said, they were talking about race, and she said the Holocaust wasn't about race.
Right.
It was about, like, I guess Hitler, the Germans targeting a specific
it was like
group of people.
Yeah.
Or it was like man just doing atrocious things, like horrible things.
To other men.
To other men. It had nothing to do with race. So just paraphrasing. People obviously took, offense to that, and then wind up suspending her. What is it, 2 weeks she's suspended
2
now?
weeks, yep.
Okay, so they sent her on vacation.
Whatever, yeah.
Whoopi Goldberg, you can't come to work for 2 weeks. Like, she don't live at my house, bro. Whoopi Goldberg got like 9,000 square feet. She like, okay. And unlimited capital. She like, where am I going for these 2 weeks?
No, man, it's true. And so I didn't think that she was, initially when I first heard it, I didn't think she was wrong. But then sort of educated myself on it, and it was like, oh, okay. The Jewish people are a race. Now, what I found funny was because when her thing, which is funny because like she got sort of punished for saying it, but I think that her thought process of just going like, well, race is like a physical trait that you should be able to differentiate between two different people, right? So like essentially like white skin and black skin, or white and brown and black, maybe, right? Like you can differentiate that. She's going, they're both white. Like, can you tell if they were German versus Jewish? I don't know. However, I know history says that Nazi Germany felt that the Jewish people were a lesser race or an inferior race. Right?
Yeah. That's his quote in his manifesto, right? Is the fuck, man.
I don't know, but that's probably right.
But he essentially calls them an inferior race. But it's the only group of people in the world that she would have been wrong about in making that statement. I mean, and obviously, I guess that's all that matters here is that the context is that she's talking about the Holocaust.
So what is race, right? So I looked it up, and I don't have the definition in front of me, but it was essentially that. Where it was like, it's sort of physical trait based. Whereas, something like ethnicity that's different. That can be like based on like beliefs or religion or like where you're from.
It's what you identify as, I guess, essentially.
Right.
A bit. Yeah, but it's weird because, right, the Jewish community that's that weird, like, I still don't know that anyone can give like a clean answer, right? Because you do have black Jews, you have Middle Eastern Jews, you have Spanish Jews, you have white Jews, you have like, the Jewish community is pretty...
Whoopi, where'd she come up with Goldberg?
Yeah, she probably Jewish too.
Like,
that's a Jewish last name.
It is very much so.
It's very Jewish. Like, yo, I didn't even know Whoopi was still on TV. But that's I'm just gonna throw that out there, bro. It said Whoopi. I was like, yo, she's still alive, bro. No fucking clue, bro. I thought Star Trek was back.
And she looking extra thick too.
Yeah, Whoopi. But Whoopi gotta be like 98. Like, what's she pushing, bro? I didn't. Like, Whoopi got to be up there, right? I didn't even know she was still on TV, dude. And also, it's funny, man. I'm much of shit. I didn't disagree because, again, dude, is the answer would have been education, not cancellation.
Not cancellation.
Just go like, yo, Whoopi, you're wrong, and here's why. And it, like, because had she been talking, I guess her thought isn't wrong when you're talking about almost any other group of people or any other ethnicity, but like as it pertains to the Jewish community, it is that like odd, I guess, circumstance where it's like, no, they're a religion, but it's also a race.
But dude, so when we go, I mean, at least here in the States, when you fill out any kind of like government form, right, and it says race, Jewish is not included.
Nope.
Not saying that it shouldn't be.
No, but it just says white, black, Pacific Islander, what is that? Asian, and then now I think Latinos got their own like box in there too. Some of them, is it still not?
I haven't seen that, man.
Sometimes I'll see Hispanic.
Typically, like I have to pick like white or black.
That's confusing as fuck for you. Do you check both boxes, bro? How does that work?
Be like, can I get an Afro Latino in here?
No, but eventually you're gonna have to add that, like mixed. I know mixed is in some of them. I've seen mixed.
I just some. Other.
Okay, other. Yeah, it's because I have seen in some. I think on my maybe for the kids, there's a school paperwork where it'll say like mixed, and that's the one they have to fill in. But occasionally they'll have that one.
You know what's funny, man, is that I have most of my life just looking at race and then looking at the selections. I go, I'm white. Like, I'm not black. I'm not right. I'm not Asian Pacific.
Are you basing that on the level of melanin in your skin?
Yes.
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 I guess you would be.
Yeah.
White. Yeah. Yo, do you hold up? Like those swatches you get for paint? You hold one of those up, and then you go, if you are here, check the white box.
It'd be like, what if I'm in between?
You're Pacific Islander.
No, you're other.
Yo, who's the... At some point in time, do you just have to stop asking that? Like, why is it relevant anymore? I guess it's relevant because we track all these metrics to make sure that people are, quote unquote, getting like equal.
I guess, man. I guess it's, but you shouldn't, right? Like in an equal society, right? Like if we were, and I think I talked about this maybe last week with my wife, where it was like, if you're like, and yes, I have weird conversations. If you're like an alien, right? Oh no, fuck that. You're a human, right? You go to another planet, and there's fucking red and green people.
Yeah.
But other than a few physical differences, nothing crazy. You're like, they're all the same. That's what somebody would come here and look at us and go like, oh yeah, some of them are like dark, some of them are like really light, but they're all fucking.
Some of you been indoors too long.
Yeah, right.
But like, yo.
But it's like you're all the same. Like you're all fucking human, or whatever they would refer to us as. There would be no species that would come here and go, oh, there is like these are different species.
I don't know, bro. If they drop in on like an NBA game and it was a white guy, and it was LeBron and Kyle
That's
Korver,
why I can't talk
to you. They'd be like, "Where Kyle from? What's that?"
That's why I can't bring up serious shit with you.
Remember we were talking earlier about playing back shit that's gonna get us in trouble one day? Exhibit Z. Oh, man. Bro, but I don't know, man. Like fuck, dude. Like, why do we even track that shit anymore? Like, why does it? I don't know. Like you said, dude. We should. Well, what do the people in China check? What are their options? They have that? Like, what are you?
Yeah, I don't know.
Other than maybe some European countries. Does the rest of the world do that?
Probably not. Or like, what about India? Like India has classes of people.
Yeah, are you checking classes? And I guess the argument there would be like America's sort of the great experiment, right? Like we are the only nation that's sort of like us because we're the what makes us is the diversity or whatever. But like, yeah, I don't know, man. I think because of so much of the shit that we track, data wise, is based on. Or we try to group it based on race, but inevitably that's going to have to go away, right? Because so many of us are going to be from like mixed backgrounds moving forward that it isn't, the world isn't like as sort of isolated as it used to be. Like,
right.
Dude, I almost don't know. Like, I feel like most of my kids' friends are mixed to an extent.
Really?
Like, yeah, like I mean, sure, like we've been to somewhere it's like white, white, or black, or Hispanic, but like, they have quite a few that are mixed kids too, and you're just going. That's just gonna keep going. Like my kids, right? Like their kids and their lineage from here on out, it isn't a purebred, quote unquote. I guess thing. It's gonna be mixed forever. It's like we're gonna have that more and more and more, right? Because we're on the sort of heels of like post, civil rights movement, post, like it's more acceptable, more like you figure this next 50 years should see like a huge shift in sort of like interracial.
Yeah. So you think eventually we're all others?
Yeah. Right? Like we have to be like how and I know this is important to some people. Like you were talking about India before. I know to some Indians it's very important to like marry another Indian, or like to some Hispanics it's very important for them to marry another Hispanic.
But even within India, like I said, that like there's classes of people within India, and they're not races. They're
classist. Yeah, like now you're from a poor class of society. I didn't know, and I've had like people that I've known from India that like even their last names are based on what their family sort of is known for, what they do, and in some cases they still do that. So like if like an example, like if your dad was a shoemaker, yeah, your last name would mean. It may not necessarily mean shoemaker, but your last name might come from a specific village that village is known for shoemaking, and so everyone would know. Oh, you're a shoemaker.
Get away. You can't
get away ever. So like that's how they'll know. Like, oh, this last name is marrying this last name. So it's like, oh man, a shoemaker is getting with the bankers. Like, it's sort of like that thing, and that's their class system.
And then I think that if I'm not mistaken, and again, if y'all hear me and I say some dumb shit, correct me on Instagram, but I believe there's like if you're gonna like in that scenario, if you're a shoemaker and marrying a banker, it's like you can't marry up. Like you have to either marry equal or you can marry down.
Correct,
and then you get pushed down to that.
Yeah, dude, I would even. It's people we both know, Europeans, who would tell me like Europe, like very westernized, right? Like obviously Europe isn't. Most of the countries in Europe are pretty, I would say, forward or progressive, and a lot of them have told me that Europe is very classist. Like, you know, because it'll be like, why do you live here? You know, why did you come to America if you're from Spain or you're from, you know, the UK or, you know, wherever? And a lot of them will say, like, if I was born poor in those countries, the expectation is that I stay that way.
Wow.
Like, you're never accepted. You may manage to somehow build wealth.
Right.
You're never accepted because of where you're from. Like, that class system really does still exist, where they're like, yo, this really is the only country in the world where no one cares what you did, sort of thing. Like, from a business perspective, right, where we're sort of apolitical, we don't care, like the dollar here speaks over the race or ethnicity or background or class or whatever. Like, I've heard this from several people from Europe, and they've all told me that, like, yeah, no, like, if back home, like, sure, I could work hard thing, but I'm never going to be accepted into there. Like, I wouldn't have been allowed to, like, move classes, quote unquote. Like, I'm still going to be the whatever. But here, it's like you can literally go from a nobody to Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk or whatever, and everybody accepts you. Like,
yeah.
For the most part, right?
For the most part, right. So I was gonna say there is still some of that, at least from a skin color standpoint.
Yeah. We're not perfect, but it was just like we definitely don't hold basically your I guess your birthright or your whatever you were sort of birthed into. We don't say like, no, that's where you have to stay.
Right.
You know, we're very much a like we do the opposite. We're like, yo, if you were born into a shitty circumstance and you're still there when you die, like that's on you. Yep. We're like we're kind of more in that, where they go like, oh, what are you trying to do, bro? Like that's not where you're from. Like go stay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yo, speaking of shitty circumstances, you seen the dude from Cleveland Browns?
Why'd I know you were gonna say Cleveland Browns? Minute you said shitty circumstance, I'm like, it's gotta be the Cleveland Browns.
Malik McDowell. Isn't McDowell? Isn't that like the last name of the dude from Coming to America? Isn't it McDowell's, right? The McDonald's?
Yeah. Yep, it is McDowell's. You're right. Yeah.
So Malik McDowell, this dude is 6'6", 300 pounds.
Jeez.
He was naked running through the streets in Deerfield Beach, Florida.
Oh, here?
Yeah, here. You know, Florida, man. We can't get no good news over here.
I love y'all, yo. Y'all keep Florida in.
So this dude was running through the street naked. The cops approached him. He attacked the cops, and then they tased his ass. But there's video of him like laying in the middle of the street, and cars are coming around, and he's chasing after cars and shit. And then after a while, he goes over, and then the cops confront him. And I'm like,
tase him?
And they tase him.
And he's ass naked.
Like,
bro. No just socks, like nothing?
Nothing, bro. Nothing.
What are you on that makes you run the streets naked?
I don't know.
How proud are you?
I haven't been on anything like that ever.
Yeah, something that make you want to run around naked?
Not in the street, at least.
No, hell no. And especially not right. It's kind of cold down here, bro. I ain't trying to run around naked in this cold.
Dude. I was like, and again, I started thinking about like CTE. You know, you wonder if the constant collisions is causing shit like that. But then the other side, I go like, man, like you're probably at least financially well off, right? If you play in the NFL, you're making a good living.
Yeah. If you're smart with your money, for most guys, you should be able to make or live a pretty good life.
Yep.
You know, bro. The minute you said shitty situation, I was like, that must be Cleveland Browns, bro.
Or Detroit.
I had I think it was no, it wasn't Cleveland. Oh, bro. So Valentine's is coming.
Oh yeah. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Happy Valentine's Day. But I listen, and I debated giving these guys a carbon footprint. Actually, bro, it was the police force in
where
in Rockmart, and I believe that is in North Carolina, bro. So Rockmart, they decided to do this initiative for Valentine's week.
Okay,
and So I'm actually just gonna read the release. That way you get what I'm saying. So they're doing this in honor of Valentine's. So yesterday kicked off the month for celebrating the love in your life, and we don't want you to forget those exes that did you wrong either. And then it goes on to say, do you have an ex-Valentine and know they have an outstanding warrants? Do you have information that they're driving with drugs in their car? Give us a call with their location and we'll take care of the rest. This Valentine's Day month-long special starts off with a set of limited edition platinum bracelets, free transportation with a chauffeur, a one-night minimum stay in a luxurious accommodation, and professional glamour shots that will be posted online for all to enjoy. This special is capped off with a special Valentine's dinner. We know this special is so incredible that you may be tempted to provide additional referrals. We don't blame you. This special is too sweet to pass up. Operators are standing by.
This is from the fucking police
This
force,
is
bro?
the police force's Facebook page, bro. This shit. They're basically asking you to snitch on your ex. How petty and bitter are you right now? And if so, if you don't mind sharing a little, being a snitch, bro, like...
Dude, so you can just tell on somebody and then you actually get stuff? Like they were actually giving out
I think
stuff?
they're just trying to get you to like. I think they were being like it was sort of satirical and like,
Yeah.
hey, they get like. But I don't think you get anything. I mean, I'm sure there's a reward.
I don't know,
depending on
man.
who it
I'm
is.
thinking if you are, depending on the neighborhood that you live in, if you are incentivized enough to snitch, you do it.
Everybody is, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not, but I have a code I live by. I couldn't do it, but I think most people would.
Yes, because you don't need their gifts.
No, exactly.
But
Like,
what
I
if you
just-
did?
I don't.
It's hard to say, right?
Yeah, it's hard to say because it depends what it is, right? Like, and who am I snitching on? Like,
Right.
sometimes the risk isn't worth the reward, depending on who you're snitching on, right?
Yeah,
like,
but it's like, it's that like
it's anonymous, right?
it's the pervert uncle
It's like,
that you've been dying to get arrested.
but I gotta see him at Thanksgiving.
Not this
this-
Thanksgiving.
I was gonna say that, not this. Yo, that's just so wild to me. Like, yo, if you know there was some chick on there super pissed off, like, I know this motherfucker got weed in his car all the time, I'm gonna report him. Like, how many stupid calls did they get for dumb shit like a dime bag?
That's true.
Like, cause you know there was somebody in there that was super upset and just going through it, bro. Listening to Jodeci in the car right now, crying.
But then,
and just,
what you said it was North Carolina?
I think it's in North Carolina. I think that's where Rockmart is.
Because I know that I don't know what they are. I have to look it up. But I wonder if it's illegal there. Like, is weed legal there?
I'm not sure, man. Actually, in North Carolina,
Yep.
I don't know that it is recreationally. It could be medicinally.
I'm gonna look.
Why you look at that, bro?
Well, you know what? Because I saw that there was, I think this week there was like 4 states with Democratic governors that actually are contemplating or maybe they did. They basically did away with the mask mandate.
Oh, I did see that,
Did you?
dude.
Right? That's what it was, right?
Yeah.
They did away with the mask mandate.
Europe's done it. I think UK
So Jersey,
did it.
Jersey's one of them.
Oh,
I think it was like Oregon.
So Wild Boys in Jersey though.
I think it was Jersey, Oregon. Can't remember the other 2. But it's like, yo, that shit is coming.
Yo,
like
the Jersey
people are
shit was
starting
driven
to-
by the mob though.
Think so?
Yeah, bro, because they're like, yo, we trying to do drive-bys. I can't tell which one's Vito because these motherfuckers all got masks on. How am I supposed to shoot the right Tony?
What the fuck was I looking up?
I don't remember. I think we said something about North Carolina that you got on Google. Were you looking up the 4 states that legalized
Nope, it was before that.
the mask? Oh, weed. Is weed illegal in North Carolina?
Yeah, see?
We done went down 4 other stories in the interim. Oh my god, man. That's the mint talking.
It's that gasoline fucking
My
rum you
god,
got.
bro. That got you. That shit. I'm glad we found something to mix it with, man. It was like that stuff is who drinks this, but lo and behold, man,
Illegal.
it is illegal even from medicinal purposes.
It says fully illegal.
Oh wow, okay, yeah. I thought maybe medicinal, definitely not recreational, but shit. All right, man. Like, fucking A. Bro, do you like steak?
Hell yeah.
All right, man. Listen. Have you ever had a steak so good that it made you want to fight?
No.
Bro, you ain't been to Golden Corral. It's a Golden Corral, bro. I don't even know where the fuck this is. Ben Salem?
I haven't been there.
I think it's in Pennsylvania,
long,
bro.
Yeah?
It's a Golden Corral in Pennsylvania. Ben Salem? I don't know. Pennsylvania always got the weird names for their
What's the
little
name?
towns. Ben Salem?
Never heard of it.
But isn't Pennsylvania the one with a town named like Bangor? And like they got some weird ass like.
I know they got in like Lancaster County. There's a place called Intercourse.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've been to Lancaster.
It's like where the Amish live.
See, Pennsylvania is an odd place, bro, because it's the one place where you can go and get some country ass Amish people, and then you can be in Philly, 30 minutes
Pretty
later
quick.
getting shot at. Yeah, it's kind of Pennsylvania is an interesting place. But hey, there was the whole 40-person brawl broke out inside of Golden Corral there. I guess because the buffet ran out of steak, and this shit just led to pandemonium. You know how good your steak gotta be for me to want to throw punches, bro? You know what I'm saying? Yo, if I'm them, I'm capitalizing. I'm turning that shit into a commercial. Like Super Bowl Sunday, bro. You just throw a bunch of fucking people fighting
over
in
your
the middle of a
steak.
Golden Corral, bro. And then the winner emerges with like the piece of steak. It's a great opportunity, bro.
Well, it gotta be as good as those fucking movies over on AMC in New York City. You heard about this shit? Dude, a group of anti-vaxxers, they fucking rushed like an AMC theater.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
What are you doing?
I'm like, what movie? And I was trying to think, like, what movie came out this week that y'all just had to see?
Yeah, right. Was Scream? Was it
I don't know, dude.
Jackass? Maybe Jackass.
Ooh, that's a good
Jackass
one.
unseated Spider-Man finally. So
Is that right?
It did. It didn't do a lot, but Spider-Man's on like its like 6th week or something.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
that.
I haven't seen it yet.
No?
Nope.
Yeah, you gotta watch it. Yeah, Jackass came out and they did like 25 mil or something like that.
That's
So
good for them, man.
yeah, it doubled their budget.
Didn't this guy got hurt? Like, for real?
Johnny Knoxville. Yeah, I feel like he been got hurt. I heard some shit that he said like, yeah, brain damage. I'm like, you think, bro? I'm like, now?
Yeah, dude. I mean, they've done some shit over the years.
Crazy shit. I hate that I won't go to theaters, but definitely when that shit's out, like if it's out on like
I'm
Netflix or HBO, I'm definitely watching it, bro. I grew up, like that shit was the original YouTube. You know what I mean? Like they did
that's
wild
right.
shit. Like you got to give credit to the guys from Jackass for like this era of us taping dumb shit and putting it online, because they were doing that shit before there was a platform to put on. They were literally making movies out of them doing dumb shit and got a TV show, or I guess TV show first and then got the movies, but of just doing wild shit.
And bro, there's some of them, man, that I laugh almost beginning to end, bro.
Yeah, bro, like it's so stupid the shit that they do, and sometimes I feel like if I was explaining to someone about like what are you doing right now, and I'm like, I'm watching Jackass, and they were like, what's that? And I'm like, oh, I just show these guys do this stupid shit, and then I'm like, but this part right now, this dude is farting into a mask, and the other guy's throwing up inside of it, and then they're gonna be like, what the fuck? That sounds disgusting, and I'm gonna be hysterically laughing the whole time. I'm not gonna be able to get the story out. like it's the dumbest thing in the world, bro.
The part of that when he actually starts to throw up, I fucking lost
I lose it, bro. The throw up makes me lose it. It's so disgusting, but it's almost like the way he throws up makes it so funny.
What about the time when the fucking guy is on the bike on a treadmill and his sweat it's accumulating and they have to drink it, bro, and then the cameraman throws up.
It's so gross, bro. They do stupid shit, man. I'm still gonna watch. It's so funny, man. But yeah, I think that shit finally unseated. So these guys, all right. So AMC.
Oh, sorry.
Anti-vaxxers right there.
Anti-vaxxers were like, fuck it. Like, we want to go to movie theater. The movie theater itself, they and it's like everything in New York. It requires like a vaccination.
Yeah, it's not the movie theater. Everybody
like,
works.
Yeah. Like you gotta go to McDonald's. You gotta fucking show it too.
Yep.
And
if you want to eat inside, you do.
I'm probably exaggerating. Maybe I'm not.
No. If you want to eat inside or do anything inside, if you want to go into a store,
Well, there's no fucking drive-through in Manhattan, bro.
no. So you're fucked.
Yeah.
But most of the restaurants have done like these outdoor seating areas, so you're allowed to sit out there and get tables. So obviously McDonald's wouldn't do that, but like the other ones would. Dude, if you want to go into a store to shop like clothes, food, you better have a vaccine card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they require the vaccine, and then they recommend masks inside. So these dudes just tired of it, and I was just thinking, like, what movie would drive me in that I would be like, fuck it, I need to see this in a theater. I can't think of any.
Bro, it ain't even about the movie anymore.
It's not.
This all this shit ties into the Rogan thing, the Whoopi thing to an extent. Although Whoopi's real mistake was the fact that she said something offensive to the people who employ her. Because the Jewish community runs television. But all this shit, dude, boils down to the fact that there's a lot of people, bro, in this country who just don't have anything else to complain about. Like, I've never read anything. Dude, I think about it, bro, like, we're pretty, I would say, busy people. Like, we keep ourselves pretty occupied doing shit. Have you ever been offended by anything you've read online? Or been mad enough to either want to, like, write a letter or boycott or join a protest? Dude, or do
even the ones that like, maybe offend me or you bring out any kind of emotion, I just go,
keep it moving, right?
Yep. I just keep it moving. I just go like, no.
Because you got shit to do, bro.
Yeah, dude.
I feel like all this shit is people who have too much time on their hands.
I have people that are like my friends on Facebook that are like very political. And I'm just like, oh, man. But you know what's funny, man, is like if their posts show up, I still read them. The ones that I don't really care for, I just keep it pushing.
Just keep it moving.
And then but then like they'll come through like 3 posts later with some funny shit, and I'll put a laughing emoji on that shit.
Yeah, you have to. See, I drop in and will comment occasionally, especially during political season, or I might just write a post just because I like to stir the pot, and then I just sign out.
But, for like 3 months?
Yeah. It's like 3 months I go ham during political season just because it just riles people up so much. But like at the end of the day, man, there's almost nothing that I'm going to be like offended by. So like these guys like protesting, like you're not doing anything else on a Saturday night or Friday night. Like you got nothing else to do or worry about or shit. Like life is so good here, bro. Dude, this week I came across I don't even know if it was on Twitter or IG or Google or whatever the fuck, bro. It was National Take a Shower with a Friend Day. Like on February 5th, I think is what it was. And I went, you know how fucking good we gotta have it, bro? Where we have a day for everything, and now we just start making shit up. Then I started to feel bad because I didn't invite you over for a shower. But I was like, nah, that's kind of weird.
Dude, did we not? I'm assuming we had 364 other cool shit.
Dude, every day, if you go on a calendar, go online and look up like national whatever day calendars, there's something or 3 every single day, bro. We got a day for everything, like ceramic mug day, the jerk off left-handed day, fucking like there's a day, bro, for everything, dude. It's insane.
I'm pulling it up right now, man.
Look at,
let's see what
we got, bro. It's too good.
What's today?
Life's too good. Today's the 8th.
Today is National Safer Internet Day.
Yeah. What the fuck does that mean, bro? Like, you know how good...
Don't post shit today.
Yeah, bro. It's so crazy. Like...
Oh, wait. There's more. It's also National Boy Scouts Day. It's also National Iowa Day.
See?
And it's also National Kite Flying.
You know who doesn't celebrate Iowa, bro? People who live in fucking Iowa any other day of the year, bro. Like, it's so crazy. And I just went, yo, we're so, like, we just don't have anything else to do that we just start coming up with shit like, yo, it's tomorrow. Everybody should make hamburgers. Let's make a national hamburger.
Because I've heard of, the days that, like, at work where it would be like I don't know,
Boss's Day,
they call,
Admin's
Boss's
Day,
right?
And like,
I was thinking of the Secretary, and I was like, it's Admin Day,
Administrative
right?
Assistant Day,
Secretary, Secretary. That name.
I think
is
that's
gone,
offensive,
right?
depending on I think that may be offensive. It's not offensive in politics, but you can use it in. You can't refer to the person.
Right.
It's fucking weird. I don't know, but
doesn't sound professional.
It does to call somebody secretary. I don't know why. I don't know. But I don't know. I don't know enough about the word. Like, I don't know why that word would be offensive.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah, nothing. It's not like you'd be like, yo, lady who makes copies. Like, I get it. Or if you call them copy
like
person.
copy lady, right?
Yeah, copy lady or whatever. Yeah, that I would get. But yeah, anyway. Bro, we have too much free time. Idle minds, idle hands, idle, like, for people to be upset, like, to even go. Bro, even, I think about even this whole vaccine thing. Like, the people who are going ape shit online, it's like, okay, bro, like, just keep it moving. Go do your own thing. Like, if you're anti or pro or whatever, like, did you do what you had to do? All right, bro, like, fucking go clock in somewhere and go find something to do. Like,
yeah, dude, there's like an old saying, and I think it's like a biblical saying, something about idle hands, right? Like, idle hands are the work of the, like the work of the devil or some shit like that. But there's something to be said about that, where it's like, if you don't have shit to do, you'll find shit to do.
Yeah, bro. I almost, you know what, who I don't see at like one of these rallies ever or like a protest? It's like Mark Cuban. You know, like, and even every once in a while they'll point out like some celebrity who'll be like, oh, look, he's supporting the cause. It's like, yeah, bro, because he works like weekends like twice a year. Like, that's the guy who's sitting around not doing, like, even if you think about, like, there's certain celebrities who go online and they're super active on like Twitter when it comes to politics or anything else. And I'm going, of course you are. You don't have anything else to do. Like, you're rich. You got nothing but time. You're probably bored. You can't leave your house. You know, like, yeah. So for some of these guys, like, I get it. It's just, this shit all boils down to, I think we just have it so good. Like, everything to me always boils down to, like, yo, life is so good here. We just start like creating conflict.
Just create shit.
Yeah.
Dude, well, you seen the military. So the army in particular is about to discharge people who are like anti-vaxxers. So like, if you refuse, but and I thought, you know what, that was my reaction to when I read the article. So if you do not want to get the COVID vaccine, they are discharging you, and it's not like a dishonorable or anything like that. I think it's probably like a general, which is fine. But then I started thinking that, dude, when I went into the Marine Corps, and I think I told a story on here before, I went through like an assembly line.
Yeah, they give you a bunch of shots, right? Yeah.
And no one goes, oh, dude, this shot is
it
for
okay to give
fucking,
you this?
yeah. It wasn't even a question. I remember going in there, and I remember one of the guys that I was in boot camp with was like, man, I don't know if I like this. And then I go, I don't really care. I don't even know what they're giving me.
A question. Yeah. At a minimum, you should be like, yo, you're gonna get this.
So I don't know how it is now. Like, maybe now they actually take you through it and make you sign a fucking form, and who knows? And maybe the form that I signed,
they probably did.
That was like 4 pages long that I refused to read, and I fucking signed. You know what I mean?
Like, where's
right?
the line?
Yeah, right.
Pages. Like, what do I initial? Oh, yeah.
So I wonder if it's that. And so they were talking about, there was how many people is it? 3,300.
Did they have to discharge?
That they're about to if they don't get it.
Well, I guess the military also too, depending on where you're based, they make you get certain vaccines, right, or shots or whatever.
Dude, in boot camp, bro, I went through an assembly line of shots. It wasn't like, oh, well, you're gonna be stationed in North Carolina or Japan, but I have heard guys that go overseas actually get more.
Yeah, because I think if you go visit certain countries, they make you get, like, there's certain countries in Africa where you have to get specific shots, right? Okay. Like, so I think that there's definitely countries in the world that even as a normal citizen, if you go there, they're like, you have to show proof of X vaccination or whatever. Okay. Like, I know a lot of African countries actually do that, because they have shit there that we don't have to worry about, but they might. So I guess I could see the military going like, nah, bro, I got to be able to deploy you anywhere in the world whenever I want.
Yes,
and I can't be worried about this. But you know what the thing is, dude? I wonder, and I listen, I'm stupid, so take this with a grain of salt. But the vaccine, I guess at this point, it almost feels like you should downgrade it to a shot, not a vaccine. You know, like when people say flu shot. I think when we hear vaccine, right, like we got the one for chickenpox and measles and rubella and all that shit. Like, I've never gotten that again, and I got one shot.
And it's associated with things like autism.
It is, but I'm saying, like, we got it once, and I've never had to worry about it again. And yet this, you're going, oh, you got to get the 2 rounds, and then you got to get the booster. And then they're like, well, maybe you have to get another booster. And then so, like, at this point, do you just say, no, it's a shot. It's like a flu shot. Like, the flu doesn't, you have to go annually, you have to re-up.
Right. Because the virus changes.
Right. So, like,
you can never have a vaccine.
So it's not right. You don't have a vaccine. You have a shot. I get, and I don't know. I'm sure there's a technicality for this, and I'm too stupid to know what it is. But like, I don't know. Does changing the name of it like make people feel better, or you just go, oh, it's not really a vaccine. It's a shot, and you're required to get this shot. Whatever. I don't know. I don't know if our mind, our perspectives change at all. But at this point, it just kind of feels.
No, like I said, it's all about optics, right?
Yeah.
And so if you take it out of that realm of vaccines, which like you said, a vaccine would be one and done, it's not a vaccine.
No, and I also think, bro, listen, man, and I know this is not the same thing, but I always just go to the minute the government, like I know, like where they were trying to force, sort of, the government was trying to force people to get it. I always go on the side of like, where do you draw the line with that? And it goes like, we were talking about PrEP before. Do you make PrEP mandatory if you're like, oh no, you're gay, like you have to get it? Because we have this like ignorant thought that like HIV only comes from that, or like, oh, you're a crackhead, you should get PrEP automatically, or you're addicted to meth, or you're in prison. Maybe prison has a higher rate of like male sex and whatever, and we know that leads to higher maybe infection rates of certain things. Like, nope, you're automatically gonna get this shot now because we're worried about you spreading a disease and to each other. Like, I just feel like, where do you start drawing the line on shit like that? I don't know. Like maybe I don't know enough about those things, but it just seems like that's a little slippery slope where you just start making people, like, yeah, we've always had the joke, like, do you start making dudes give vasectomies who are deadbeat dads? Like, we know people with 15 kids, right? Like, do you just go, bro, you're kind of a danger to society at this point in time? Like, go get your shit like snipped. Like, we don't, right? We don't make chicks tie their tubes.
You could do that with anything.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, where do you draw the line? Like, right. I think I get the fear of people who go like I'm not a conspiracy theorist per se. I guess the older I've gotten, the more I realize, like, yeah, the government does sort of do some shady shit in the background. And then the more that some of this stuff is just like, you're just slowly opening the door for more and more shit. Because if it's like, yeah, get this vaccine. Yeah, we're doing it to save everybody. And you hide behind that. But then it's like, okay, well, where do we draw the line on this? Does it have to be a pandemic? And then what classifies it like, we say heart disease kills more people every year than anything else. So at what point can the government step in and go like, tell you what to eat? And like, do you do that in a country where maybe they pay for your healthcare, but if it's, like ours where it's sort of private, then you won't give a fuck what you eat. Like, at what point in time do you do that? Like,
I think that even that, right? Like, there's so much within not only the food industry, but also the pharmaceutical industry. So, and all those lobbyists, man, they have all the money.
Dude, I got a quick pharmacy story this week, man. Like a personal anecdote. I was getting medication for a family member of mine, and it was my mom actually. And then so my mom was telling me like there's this medication she had that was like I want to say, let's say it was like $800.
Okay.
But the insurance didn't cover this medication, and so I called the pharmacy up and was like, hey. Actually, I got the name of the medication. I went on the company's website. On the company's website, it was like, oh, if you don't have insurance or your insurance won't cover it, like click here, fill out this questionnaire, and then we'll give you sort of like this, what they call a copay card.
Okay.
So I filled it out. It's literally like 4 questions, like where, name, whatever, where do you live, and then it's like, do you have insurance, yes or no, and then like who it is, and then are you getting reimbursed for medicine, yes or no, sort of thing, right? Answer those questions, and it gives me this copay card thing that it's like, take this when you go like pick up the medicine. So I call a pharmacy and I'm like, hey, my mom has this medication there. I found this card thing online. I know her insurance won't cover it. I just want to see what the card does. Like, what does it take off? Dude, it dropped the medicine from like $800, something like that. I'm pretty sure it's close to $800 to like $140.
Yeah.
Which told me that you're still making a profit at $140.
At $140.
And so you're charging.
What are you making at $800?
Yeah. Oh, dude, if you're charging me $140, I'm gonna go on a limb here, bro, and say that that's marked up 70% ish. That medicine might cost you $10 to $20 to make, so more than 70%. So like I'm gonna guess that it costs you like $10 to $20 to manufacture this medicine if you're willing to give it to me for that. But you sell it for $800 because the way our healthcare system is set up is that you bill insurance and maybe you have sort of discounted rates through insurance companies. The insurance company might only pay like $400 for it, but you're like, well, fuck, they're willing to pay the $400, so I'm gonna bill that. So it's not so much what it costs. We sort of bill for medicine what we're willing to sort of what we can get away with. And I'll just, and really quickly, like to add to that, like as someone who's worked for companies on the finance and accounting side, I will say the largest, every year when you go to renew healthcare from an employer's perspective, the part that drives up costs, like every year, obviously healthcare costs go up, right?
Yep.
And your premiums go up and all that. You would think that the things that drive that up are sort of catastrophic events, like people getting cancers and heart disease and all that. It's never that, dude. It's always prescription meds. The cost of prescription meds goes up, so that's why everybody's insurance goes up, and you have to
crazy.
And it was just so odd, man. I did this week, and I went, wow, man, like how much money are these pharmaceutical companies making? And then how fucked is our healthcare system from that perspective that we basically they're like, dude, it took me back to the Skrelly kid, because as much of an asshole as he was, his whole point the entire time was, why wouldn't I charge that? The insurance companies are going to pay it. Like if you go back and watch his interviews and people were like, oh, people are going to die. He's like, no, they're not. Just go to our website. And it's what I thought about when I checked it. Martin Skrelly. So he had the drug. I forget what it was for. It was like, man, I want to say HIV AIDS or something. He had a drug that was like life-saving that a lot of people took. I mean, a lot of people. And so he took the drug, and let's say he went from like, it was $40 or a couple $100 to like a couple thousand.
Okay.
For like let's say a month's supply. And people were just like, they called him like the pharma bro or whatever. Like it got like to the point where he was getting death threats and all kinds of shit. I think this guy did jail time for some other shit that's sort of unrelated, but like he was sort of considered an asshole because it was like, yo, you took this life-saving drug and you made it sort of unaffordable for people. And his whole point was like, well, no, if you go to my website, there's this thing you fill out, you get it, and we're going to give you the drug at whatever. And it was like a really low cost. It was actually pretty affordable. Okay. But he was billing it at the higher rate because it's like, but the insurance company's going to pay that. So why wouldn't I bill that? Because
you have to.
You have to.
Right.
And they're going to pay me anyway. Now, obviously the counter argument to that is that, yeah, well, you're the reason the healthcare costs keep going up because
right.
So it doesn't make him right. It's just that I understand the logic where he's going, well, fuck, this is the system we set up. If I don't do it, somebody else is going to do it. Like, I'm not fucking people. I'm fucking another corporation like mine.
Yeah.
So, sure. Like, why wouldn't I do that? Like, the way that whole system is set.
And yes, you would hope that everybody would go, no, that's wrong. It's to make change. But in that scenario, man, you go, hey, like they're willing to pay this. Why wouldn't I charge that?
And that's why you see Mark Cuban's now launched a
He's
pharmaceutical
doing
company.
Yes, I saw that.
And his whole thing is like, I'm already rich. I don't need the money. I just want to fuck these guys. And a lot of the big legislature now is sort of they're trying to basically put caps on how much insurance companies or non-insurance pharma companies are allowed to sort of mark up their medicine, which I mean they'll find a workaround around it, but
gotcha.
And they have too much influence. But yeah, anyway, like I just thought about that when you said the whole shit with the medicine.
Yeah, how we doing on time, bro?
Dude, we're at hour 21 in, man. We been getting long on these lately, man.
I know, man.
Nah, I got nothing, man. I think we got through them.
I'll give you one more, man. I'll give you one more real quick. There was a grandfather and a grandson. They went on a fishing trip. And you and I both know how the fishing trips are. My fishing trips are awesome. But this is not your normal everyday fishing trip. They went magnet fishing.
Magnet?
Magnet. So the concept behind it is you get like a pretty thick rope and you tie like a magnet, a pretty heavy duty magnet.
Okay.
That can pick up, you can pick up significant amount of metals. And you go fishing, like you go on a boat, and the idea is that there's so much shit at the bottom of these rivers and streams that it's like a lottery. Whatever you bring up, like you don't know what the hell it is.
Okay. So you're just dragging this along while you're riding around?
I guess. Yeah. So these dudes picked up 2 sniper rifles.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Wrapped in like saran wrap with the serial numbers scraped off.
So clearly they'd been used probably to commit a crime. Somebody dumped them.
Right. And so, they did the grandfather was like former military, so he recognized what they were, and then he saw it was sort of scratched off, and they turned it into the authorities, right? And I think
was this in DC by chance?
Shit, I didn't write that down. I don't know. But in Michigan, another guy was doing the same thing. So apparently there's a bunch of YouTube videos on this magnet fishing.
Magnet fishing? I've never heard of this, man. Now that I'm hearing it, I'm like, oh, of course there is. But I've never heard of it. Okay.
A dude in Michigan found an antique mortar grenade from World War One. And the shit was live.
And it was...
Like
it could go off.
It could go off.
Water doesn't ruin it?
Guess not, man. A mortar? I don't know.
That's crazy.
Like, I don't know how it's made.
I guess we
enough.
have metal detectors for sand, right? Why wouldn't you be able to like? Why? I guess if you're ever gonna find cool shit, it's gonna be in the bottom of lakes and stuff like that. Like
you said, people that do bad shit, right? And you go, I'm gonna drop it in this fucking murky river or stream or lake, right? Like if you're out in the middle of a lake, like fucking here, like Lake Jessup.
Yeah,
they go out in the middle of there.
Shit ton of alligators there. You're like, who's coming in there to find that shit?
There's no divers coming in here.
Oh fuck, man.
Yeah, so that was.
That's pretty sick, dude. That's pretty cool, man. I'm gonna see. You're gonna make me go down a YouTube rabbit hole watching people magnet fish for random shit because there's got to be people who have found some. I mean, the World War I grenade is pretty cool. Sniper rifle is pretty cool too.
Yeah, but I guess I want to find shit that I can keep. What the
Can you keep the grenade?
I would imagine you would want to make sure that like
decommission it somehow.
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
but
do you set it off?
Try fucking throw it over the fence of your neighbor. You're like, oh, that shit still works.
Fuck you, Bob. Keep your dog on your side.
But they said that when you go to this magnet fishing, that it's like a lottery. Like, because you just never know.
I get.
What's
I'm
coming
thinking
up.
like all those dudes
cool.
you see with the metal detectors, and they just pick up all kinds of change and jewelry and yada yada. But this is that, so like, I don't know.
It's crazy.
It's just that's pretty wild. I'm surprised no one has a reality show about this yet.
It's coming.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
We should produce it.
It's about to. Let's go. Shit would be pretty crazy, bro. Dude, actually, not for nothing, man. It's carbon footprints left a long time ago. Digging them back up, man. Unearthing what carbon footprints? Because like you said, you could find something that was 100 years old. You could find something that's 200 years old. You could find something that's 2 years old. Like you just, that's pretty wild, man. Magnificent. We need to add that to the list.
All right, man. Tell them where they can find us.
If you're not yet following us, man, at the Carbon Footprint Podcast on IG, Facebook, at Carbon Footprint Podcast on TikTok. And then pretty much every major streaming platform, look us up, the Geo7, Ghana, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, Pocket Cast, Podchaser, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts. We're on all of it, so check us out on there. If you're not following me, I'm trying to think of what my socials are. Oh, at Not The Fake JLo on IG. No. Sorry, at Juan on Stage on IG, at Not The Fake JLo on Twitter and Twitch. I got to get my following up there a little bit. So, go follow, brother. Help me out. And
at the Carbon Footprint Podcast on IG. Hit us up. Yo, thank you for listening. We appreciate you guys. Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Do right by your significant other. And we will see you next week.
See you next week.
Peace.
Peace.